Cheers everyone, Cloudfather here. As you can see, we've got a pretty much production version now of the filter section for the fan. And the nice thing about this is it has no spacers. The spacers are built in. So when you put the 4 screws in, which are in each of the corners, you now have the correct spacing all the time. So we've done a lot of little mods on this. I think it'll be one more pass and it'll be finished. We also built a new bottom. This is the new bottom. Notice this is a lot thicker. That's to accommodate heat stress. Ideally, this would be an aluminum component, but this does work this way. I've been using it for about 2 months. So as we put this back together, let me zoom out here so you can see the process here a bit. And we'll put the camera on the stand here. There we go. So as you can see, it fits right in, and you can put a 3M screw in the side to hold it in instead of the 1Ms. Makes it a lot easier. We put some bars in here so that we can actually put the top on. I haven't drilled the holes for that yet, but that's what it'll look like when that's done. We use filter foam like this and filter vent foam like that. This is the inner filter that fits in the bottom, and then this fits on the top. You just squeeze it in so it fits in like that. So it's very easy to service. I haven't had a chance to cut any new pieces out. But typically you're just going to fit them in like that so they sit in the corner. And you're going to drop the filter piece in, the top filter piece in. Make sure that you spread out the stuff down on the bottom here. I should have cut this a little bit smaller, but you see how it goes. So this will make filtering a lot easier. These are off-the-shelf components. And the other thing we've done is we put a little wall here, so it's very easy to get to the plugs for the laser. That makes things a lot more accessible. So now you've got a very nice little, very fast to change filter. In fact, if you don't need to vacuum the inside, you can change this filter in about 20 seconds. You can build one in less than a minute. Like say, this is the original prototype. This is the new one. As you can see, it's a lot heftier. And that was done because you get very different amounts of heat depending on where, how you're using your laser. And again, that piece should be aluminum. It isn't yet, but I am talking to Atomstack about having them produce these. Because I think that would be easier for people. What up if I got the right size? Let me get the right size guy here. There we go. So you can see this is really clean in here. You know, I'm not getting anything on my fingers. The veins are all clean. And this blast shield has a little plastic window for the sensor and for the guide laser. But you can see it gets pretty damn hot. Again, that's why we went to the heavier, thicker wall on the new bottom part. You could just put a piece of aluminum or copper tape on the bottom. That would do really pretty much everything that's needed, although, again, for a lot of reasons, I'd like to see these with aluminum. Now I can find my other screw here. Grab my key. Get these guys all situated. I haven't cut these threads yet. Let me just get that done. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We got our screws put in. Now, one thing to notice is because of the 0.8 millimeter shim between the two screws up here on the dovetail, not only is the sensor clean, but after 7 months of use, there's no dirt at all because of the tilt on the laser output lens. Zero. And this has been a big problem. So we're going to go ahead and put that back in. Yeah, it's weird. Didn't even have to clean it. So, orient the output window, get our screws in place, and then tighten this guy down. Now, this lower blast plate, you can put filter material around it, which is how I use it, but it's not really needed. Okay, so there we go. Got everything nice and neatly put on there. Again, you can wrap the white filter paper around the outside, but this little ridge on the edge forces the air out this way. And it also forces the air that's bouncing down so it comes away as opposed to straight up the sides. So again, the outer shield part really isn't needed. You can get by with just what we have right here. Let me get my little jig here. So we'll go ahead and make some new stuff. Yeah, the fan is clean. I haven't had to clean it in a couple of weeks. One of the really tough things on these lasers is dealing with softwoods. And I've been doing a lot of cedar work. And cedar is extremely dirty. And it's also very corrosive. It attacks all the metals in your system. Let me just go cut a piece of this and we'll be right back. Okay, so there we have top and bottom filter. So I put the bottom material in first. And it's all right if it hangs out. You can always trim a little off if you need to. And if you want, you can notch the corners. Makes it a little easier to fit in there. We did originally experiment with round filters. And the problem is most people would have a problem dealing with them. So we went with a square because it was a lot simpler. So your only goal really is to get that white piece in there, because the foam, once you put it in on the top here, basically fills in all the gaps and it holds it down and seals it. So that you're all set that way. And then I haven't drilled the holes for this yet, but this is the top that will fit like that. And that'll basically keep stuff from getting in the top. The biggest problem we had before is the fan was sucking stuff that was coming up like this and right down. Well, by putting this on there, it has to come in through the side. Well, by the time it's gotten up here, it's falling straight down. And of course, your intake's on the side and your exhausts are on the side. So that gets rid of a very large percentage of the garbage. I mean, this is 2 weeks worth of work, working on glass and plastics. It barely gets it dirty. 3 or 4 days with softwoods would be the norm. So let me go put some holes in this. We'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the AX70 screws in. We have lots of room to put stuff in for cables and so on. You can also leave this up, put the cables in, then put it on if you want. So we'll be back in a second. We're going to put the final set of flow-in screws in. Okay, well there we have it. Top and bottom all installed. Ready to go into the laser as soon as my parts arrive. Unfortunately, I'm still trying to get together with our folks over in Atomstack's service guys to get some rail parts. Unfortunately, the rails are kind of the Achilles heel because there's no real good way to replace the rails. The rollers can be removed, but you got to have a case hardened steel Torx 10 to get it out. And you probably want to drop it in liquid nitrogen so you don't strip the threads out, or just have them replace the entire 3-roller assembly, which is really the right way to do it. So anyhow, this has been the result of about 9 months worth of work. I'm sure I'll be adding a few little more mods to it. I'll be in discussion with Atomstack over the next few days about them taking on the design, because I think it's something important to get to all the customers, because everybody's been suffering from laser damage, lasers basically expiring because they get dirty. And the heat sinks also are really bad at collecting all kinds of filth. So it's definitely something that if Atomstack takes up the gauntlet to produce these, it's definitely worth looking into. That's all for now. Godfather out.